Hello? Where'd my camera go?
What happened?
1 second. What's going on? The agenda can The agenda can speak. This is so weird. Why? It says my camera's on and everything. What the heck is happening? You know what we need to do, chat? It's time to bust out the old reliable. It is that. Why am I over here? There we go. Please give us g-scotty back. Welcome on in, Pat, and welcome on in, Peanut Butter. Scotty creating games. What's something new? New as of like a couple of weeks ago. What? How you doing, Peanut Butter? Hopefully you're doing well. Oh, mighty agenda. How's everyone doing, though? Welcome on into the stream. Just wanted to give a big shout out and a big thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel, especially the biggest members of the month. We have Captain Gamerica 826 and we have my pal Johnny Appleseed. Thank you guys so very much. I also wanted to give a big shout out to the first member of chat, Mr. Patter. You are awesome. Thank you so much for your love and support. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. Let's see if we can have 15 likes today. Today's my cousin's birthday. Oh my goodness. Well, happy birthday, Mr. Cousin. Or Cousin Patter, or I don't know. Hopefully they have a wonderful, wonderful day. All right, chat. It is time. I am going to work on area 1-3. We might also, well, I really want to finish area 1-5 if I can somehow figure that out, but we'll see what happens. I understand now the G in g-scotty stands for game. Silly. What's up, Brett? How you doing? Yeah, the G stands for a lot of things, and game is now one of them. But yeah, chat, if you haven't already, do hit that like button. If you guys wouldn't mind sharing the stream out to anyone, like just at least one friend, that would be incredible. YouTube is, as of right now, kind of shadow banning me. If you look up g-scotty, you won't find my channel. So any bit of help to help with like recognition a little bit would help out tremendously. So yeah, just like invite one friend and that'd be great. Also, I have some cool stuff if you guys do a super chat now. If we hit 5 super chats of a certain amount, then you will get put into a drawing. The super chatters will get like a piece of art, yada yada yada, all that jazz. Irene made my YouTube channel, so hi. What's up, Lucas? To be honest, I will forget that your name is Lucas now that you renamed your name, so I will just call you Bread. Which is also a wonderful name. Good evening, Sonny. Good evening, Mr. Wesley. How you doing? But yeah, chat, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. Let's see if we can hit 5 likes right now. I bet we can. I bet we can. That's fine, just wanted to say. Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. I appreciate you telling me. How's life treating you? Hopefully everyone's doing well. I think it says on the birth certificate that his name is Bread. He just goes by Lucas. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. What's up, Wesley? Sorry, chat. Let me know if something weird happens. There we go. All right, we got 1 like, chat. Let's see if we can hit 5 right now. What kind of game are you making? I am doing a platformer roguelike. How are you doing, Scotty? I'm doing all right. Life is a little stressful right now, but you know what? It is fine. We're here. We're now. It's gonna be okay. Everything is all right tonight in this corner of the world. Hey, I'm glad. That corner of the world is a blessed place because it has you in it. Like Mario? Not really, because Mario isn't a roguelike. So it's a platformer, but it has roguelike elements to it, so... Since I've been to the stream, so good to be back. Watch the Scotty shenanigans. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. Chat, who has hit the like button right now, out of curiosity? Because if you have, then I want to give you Skittle points. Drinking Sprite while doing something? That sounds mischievous and wonderful at the same time. I love to see it. Scotty, what's up, Yubi? How are you? All three of you? Really? Because it says on YouTube that there's only one like and everything, so that's weird. Maybe it just is just maybe it's just cringe. You know what? I'll take it. Cringe. Thank you guys so very much for your support. I appreciate it. What's up? Let's see. Scotty. What's a platformer roguelike? Yes, that is what I said. It is a roguelike platformer. For me, it says 2. Really? Okay, that's interesting. I'm good. You? I still have it liked. Not sure if you do is being goofy. It wouldn't be the first time. YouTube is kind of silly, you know? Silly little guys. But that's fine. I'm just glad that you guys are here. That's the most important part. Alrighty, so I want to see about going back into area 1.5 because what we're going to do is try to finish up our little coding shenanigans. So let's see, yeah, area 1.5. Let me show you for anyone that was not here. I'm good, you? I'm doing all right, my friend. I'm doing all right. Thank you so very much for asking. Okay, that was like really quick. We also need to find a way to slow down the breaking time. I mean, it's original. Okay, so we need to find a way to slow down the platformers breaking. And we need a way for the platforms to respawn. Otherwise, this level just won't work. So that's our first order of business. First a deck builder roguelike, now a platform roguelike. What's next? A visual novel roguelike? That probably exists actually. I mean, that would actually be insane. Now thanks for putting that in the universe. Now I want to do it. Because that would be really, really cool. Like seeing a random story play out. I don't know how that would work. That would be like probably the most insane. Yeah, that would be like the most insane kind of thing ever, but hey. For a second, I saw something that said 3 viewers also live near my city, but it was just an ad for a store. Oh, I see. All right, chat, who's ready to get into the nitty-gritty? So we need to find a way. It's funny. So my dad actually does like programming stuff for his job. And I asked him, I was like, hey, so like, how would you do this? And he was like, oh, probably like this. And then he like said a bunch of stuff and I was like, okay, gotcha. And then I like left 2 seconds later and I was like, I genuinely forgot everything he just said. I was like, oh, I like cats. Very nice. Everyone in the stream lives near Patter. Yeah, Patter, I thought we were all just neighbors. I just thought that's how it was. Alrighty. 1 second. I forgot my blue light glasses. There we go. Y'all can't see me put them on because my camera's being dumb. Okay, so let me figure out. So this was the timer. We need to find a way to make it, let's see, if player enters it, then the timer starts at 07. Why is it breaking so quickly? That's what I'm kind of wondering. I can go down the block and just find bread right there. What a great sentence. I'm glad that I was alive to hear it. Okay, let's try that. Is that gonna make it weird though? Visual novel roguelike. We add new characters in the story and to make the story go longer. Each character added. I feel like that made it shorter. All right, coding people in chat. I might be relying on your power like spirit bombs. So we need. Let's see. So we have the timer starting. If body enters the area on second body entered. Okay, yeah. If body is player, then the timer starts. So I'll try to help. Perfect. Curious of visual. Yeah, no, for real, bread. That would actually be really, really sick to try out, though, not gonna lie. Okay, so we need to find a way to slow it down. We need to also... What do we also need to do? We need to find a way to... Well, we need to find a way for it to spawn back, so... Okay, so this is not working right here. We need to find out why that's not working. Or we need to find out what does work. So let's try this. Platypus grow in the dark. Very interesting. Okay, so if we go back up here, and it's like if you touch it, they just, okay, and they're not respawning either. Is that because we have... Oh, we have Q free. Okay, we don't want Q free. 1 second. Let's do this. Let's try that. Dog like a cat or a cat like a dog? I'd rather have a dog like a cat, honestly. Okay, so they respawn, but they're still shaking now. That's kind of the problem. And then they like, so they respawn really quickly and they... That's so weird. Okay, let me think. Time? Maybe this is what we have to do if time is 5? Someone he? Typo? I love typos. I do those all the time. They're tweaking out. Yeah, that's kind of the problem that we're running into right now, is just trying to figure out how to get them to not tweak out when they get respawned in. And what was the other thing? I mean, that's kind of the biggest thing, and then yeah, just like they're just falling too quickly and let me see what this does, if it makes it faster or slower. Golly, it's like the same thing. I don't understand what I'm doing. Okay, so this is a little weird. Speaking of cats, cats can't taste sweetness because they lack the receptors for it. Dumb cats. Just kidding. Okay, if player timer starts at that, what if I did like void start time, so void equals -1. So if I keep it like that, does it, what does it do? If I try to increase, no, they kind of just stay the same. They respawn at a better point. So that must be the respawn. Let's try that. Music sounds good. Is it too loud or too quiet? Let me know. I just don't want it to be like overwhelming. I mean, I don't blame them for shaking after respawning. They died and revived a matter of seconds ago. I mean, fair enough. Very fair enough. Let me see. If I clicked the right button, that would be cool. Okay, I do like that respawn time, actually. Let's make this a 2 even. Okay, that's good. Volume is great. Okay, sounds good. Pay to win or pay to lose? Yes. Okay, so respawn time is good. We just need to find a way to bring them back without shaking. So, do we need another timer to, like, stop the shaking? Let me look this up. We're going to the darkest place on the internet, aka YouTube. Can you... You know, if I was looking, that'd be great. Can you... Let me do this. How to stop an animation... Godot. Let's try this.
Do you really?
I don't care. Thought I was deathly allergic until my friend shoved a cat in your lap. I am deathly allergic to them, and because a cat shoved one in my lap, and I found out the hard way. All right, here's this video chat. Let's see what they gotta say. Nothing apparently. What is happening? Okay, so they stopped. They need to find a way to make the animation stop. Let's see what happens. Animated sprite 2D 15. Is it that easy? One second, let's go into single-use platform. Same experience, different ending. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, hold on. Maybe this won't work. Because what was his thing? Oh. Yeah, his thing is an animated sprite 2D. Okay, so that actually won't work. Is there anything else? Avoid bugs and work faster. Bring ideas to life. Make a pause menu. I don't. I just... Ah! How to stop an animation in Godot. Let's see. We simply need to give platforms a comforting talk. Their life flashed before their eyes. That is true. That is true. Next time we put them through that, I will have to talk to them. We'll stop the animation. We'll reset the animation at the beginning if needed. Okay, hold on a second. So, if we go back into Area 1.5, let's go into our coding. Timer timeout. Do we add... Oh, is there a way to do like a timer animation player stop? Yeah, but I'm wondering because I don't actually have an Wait, do I have it? Hold on. Sprite 2D position. Oh, is this... Oh, is that what I have to do? I have to make it stop? Let me see something real quick. I'm going to try something. Timer dot stop. Let me try that and see if that works. Oh, didn't even... Okay. So let's go up here. No. Okay, so that doesn't work. do animation. Reload. Maybe we'll try this. I don't know if it's going to work because I don't know if technically they have an animation. Attempt to call function stop in base null instance on a null. Oh, okay. Unused variable. Never used in the block if it's intended prefix with an underscore. Let me try that, see if that makes it stop. No, that literally just crashes the whole thing. It's weird. Okay, let's try this. See if we can just put it back to where it was. Okay. So everything's good. So now it's just a matter of getting these to not shake. Let's see. I'll help in a bit. I just gotta find something. You're fine, dude. No worries. I think what we're dealing with right now is this right here is saying like the sprite position is being moved around. Okay. What is happening? Uses floating point coordinates by default. 32, unlike float. So I think what I did was just make the animation like pretty archaic. Okay, so let me try this, see what oh. So I don't know why we have instance. Okay, so these fall way too quickly. Among Us sus. What's up, bruh? How you doing? Yo, chat, if you're members, let them see the sus, like, for real. So, okay, we need to change. Thanks, Pat. Okay, so timer on 1. Let's try 2. Let's see what happens. Okay, I don't know why. Okay. Okay, that doesn't help. I do like the shake. Okay, so this is the shaking right here. Set process, true. What is set process? Sorry, chat. Just trying to figure something out. Okay. Yo, chat, thank you so much for the 4 likes. I appreciate you guys. I think YouTube started working again. Okay. So this right here is the shaking itself. I don't know. I'm gonna get rid of this real quick. See if we can't make it like a function on timer midpoint not fine and what? I'm just trying to disable it just for a second. Oh, that's why we can't do that. Okay, let's try that. Editing a video that I already edited myself to change because the last second someone changed their mind. There you go. Okay. Yeah, they fall way too quickly. Let's make this 1. Okay. If time is on timer midpoint. Oh. Hold on a second. What happens if I do this? What's up, Claire? How you doing? Expected intent. Yeah, but it's just not working if I do that. Oh, awkward. How am I doing? I'm doing all right. I'm just trying to figure out what I did wrong with all of this. Chat, thank you so much for the 9 likes. You guys are great. I really do appreciate it. Okay. Variable time 1. If time is, okay. Okay. So if I touch them, they just disappear, which is not what I want. There you go. Those are finally updated. I was about to say, that is weird. Okay, why does it break so quickly? This is the shaking itself. I wish there was a way we could, like, title these. Two to 4 to 9. That's crazy. Thank you guys so much for hitting that like button. I really do appreciate it. It genuinely helps out a lot. Set process is true. Set to true enables processing. When the node is being processed, it will receive a notification process of every drawn frame. Callback will be called if it exists. Let's see. Okay. Let's try something else. How to make a breakable... I don't know what I'm looking up. So yeah, so they break way too quickly, and then when they respawn, they still shake. So I'm trying to... I don't know what to... I'll have to see. Oh, what's up, Reason? Try doing time plus equals 2 delta. It looks like the timer is incremented by 2 every frame. What line is that on? Oh, this one? Yep, that one. Do I space the star or do I... So what does delta do? Just out of curiosity. Do I have to add it to this? Let me see what what you got cooking for us. Whoa. That's interesting. Since the last time the function ran. Well, it's funny. Not what I expected to happen. That is funny. I do like that though. Okay, so I wonder what any of this means. Okay. Let's see. So if we do that, okay, yeah. I don't know if you can see that, Breeze, but yeah. So I want them to shake like this for a little while before they fall or before they dissolve, right? But then I need them to respawn, like, without them shaking. So they're just, like, they're dissolving way too quickly. Yeah, they're dissolving way too quickly, and then they refuse to do what I want them to do anymore. So it's kind of a weird situation. I finished editing. Congratulations. Yeah, so right now I'm just kind of like, well, everything hurts actually. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to do. Because everything else, I mean, besides it doing what it needs to do, it's doing everything fine. Besides working, I mean. Sorry, chat, give me 1 second. I was just looking at something. Okay. Okay, so let me think. Happy to keep recommending things to try if you want. I don't want Tabaxi, and I'm not as familiar with Godot script. You're fine, dude. I would love some recommendations, honestly, because I am trying to learn basic language and everything, but I'm having kind of a, like, I haven't been able to sit down just because my life has been a little insane right now. I haven't been able to sit down and just, like, read it or, like, figure out any of the language or anything. So right now I'm just kind of like, oh boy. So right now I feel like I'm just looking at a bunch of, like, lines that don't make any sense. So just trying to figure out something to do. All right, Pat. Love, peace, and chicken grease. You have yourself a great one. Tell your cousin that I said happy birthday. Okay. Let's see. Time is the... Okay, so... This right here is the shaking. This is... No, this is the shaking. Right? And then... On the midpoint timer, it's... But, wait. Okay, so this gets rid of it at the timer midpoint. But the timer midpoint right here... starts. Is that why it, like, dissolves very quickly? Seems to me like what's going on with this is process runs every frame when set process is true. Okay. So it starts shaking when you do set process true. So yeah, I want it to start shaking when the set processor. So basically what this is saying, every time that my player enters single-use platform. So every time that the player enters this collision box right here, make it a little smaller. So every time that he enters, I want it to shake for like 1 second and then like disappear. Kind of like a fallable tile. So, but I don't know why. So right now I'm not really sure why it's like instantly dissolving and then coming back still shaking. So, and then like once they're back, you can't fall through them anymore, which is another problem. So I'm gonna write some of this down real quick. This helps me process some stuff. Notes. Let's see. So single-use platforms are dissolving too quickly. Here, chat, let me zoom in for you. Okay. So they're dissolving too quickly. Single-use platforms still shake upon respawn. And single-use platforms are no longer able to dissolve upon respawn. So that's kind of what we're dealing with right now. Those are our problems. Maybe try set process false in the timer in function to make them stop shaking. I would also talk on Discord or something if you want. Totally fine if not, though. I've only got about 30 minutes anyway. I am down. If you want to jump on, that'd be great. Think breaking up the problems like this is a great idea. Well, I appreciate it. Here, Z, give me 1 second. Let me invite you into my little stream call thing just because I can't leave it. So let me invite. What is your Discord? It's not. Which one? What is your Discord again? Is it the ZYX? Yes, that's the one. Okay. All right, I invited you to the stream time. I'm on the general voice call, so been a few years since I've done a Discord call. Yeah. Can't wait to hear your saucy voice, not gonna lie. There he is.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Excellent. Chat, this is the Saucy Breeze Man. How you doing, man?
That's me, I guess.
That's me, I guess. All right. So what do we say? What were you saying then? Also, thanks for your help, by the way.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a lot of fun to go over stuff like this. So thanks for letting me take a stab at it.
Heck yeah, dude. I know Godot's not your wheelhouse, but
yeah, I mean, basic coding is pretty transferable skill.
Sure.
But if I steer you wrong, I'm sorry, because yeah, it is definitely not my wheelhouse. So
if you steer me wrong, it's funnier that way. Also, I'm sharing my screen with you on Discord just so we can be more one-to-one. So.
Oh, okay. I'll be honest, I don't know how to look at that.
So if you go into the general voice channel, it should have like a view screen or something. If you can't figure it out, it's fine.
So if I hover over your name, it says watch stream.
Yes.
Let me try clicking on that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go.
There we go. Alrighty. So you've been saying maybe try set process false in the timer end function.
Yeah, so real quick, before
Yeah.
we go into that, I want to try here and walk through what's going on. It looks like the way that Godot works is you've got this script here.
Yes.
The ready function, I believe, runs when the game starts or when the object is instantiated. And then process runs every frame as long as it's been activated. Then you've got the on area 2D body entered. So that's when a collision happens.
Okay.
And if you scroll down some more, there's the timer one. On timer midpoint and on timer timeout. So midpoint runs when the timer hits the midpoint, I'm assuming.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then timer timeout runs when it ends.
Yeah. And this
Okay.
was kind of like the problem of... So now when the timer ends, everything is back to normal. The only... Well, besides the shaking. The only problem is now you can't like fall through the tiles anymore. So...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if the timer gets reset. Sorry, let me take a step back. Let's
You are fine.
work one problem at a time.
You're good. You're good.
So yeah, let's look back at the problems that you listed out.
Okay.
Because I think that's a great way of going about this.
Yeah.
So the shaking thing was what I was referring to with doing the timer false. So
Okay.
let's approach that one and see if we can fix that.
Sure. And that one... So this is what I found out is like the actual like what's making it shake. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
like what we're looking for right now, but
I think it is, because the process running every frame, that position line is making it shake every time process runs.
okay.
So I'm guessing what's happening is you have set process to true when the collision happens, but we don't ever set it back to false, which means that process is going to continue running even after it respawns, and so it'll keep shaking.
Okay.
Because as you noticed, it shakes during process.
Right. So what
So if
you're
you go-
saying
go ahead.
is oh, you're good. In this we need to change it to something else.
So I think the collision one is probably fine because we still want it to set it to true when the player hits the thing. You want it to start shaking. I
Right.
think we're gonna look for the timer endpoint one.
Endpoint. Okay.
Timer timeout.
Timer time.
yeah.
Okay.
So try after the visibility layer, do the set process false.
Okay, so just put false in this.
So add a new line
Oh, a
under
new line.
that.
Okay.
And then do the set underscore process false.
Oh, I was about to say spell out underscore set. And then you said process.
Yeah.
Set process. False.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm right in my assumption here, this is the opposite of what we're doing when the player collides.
Okay.
So the player will collide and set the process to true. It'll start shaking.
Okay.
And then when the timer runs out, we'll set it to false, so it should stop shaking.
Okay. So is
Go ahead.
just quick question, just me trying to learn language. So set process, like what does set process mean? Like when I write down set process, what am I aiming for?
Good question. And if you have questions like that, feel free to interrupt me more.
No, you're good. You're good.
So this seems like something that Godot does, where the process will only run while the value is true.
Okay.
So when you type out set process, you're saying whether process should be running or not.
Oh, okay. I got you.
If it's true, process, you're saying, oh, I want process to start running.
To
If
start
you set
running.
it to false, you're like, I want it to stop running.
I got you. Okay. Let me see what happens with the set process false thing real quick.
Yeah, we'll see if I'm even right here. I could be completely wrong.
Okay, so we fall through. Let me try on this one just so we can. Okay. Oh, look at that.
There you go.
Okay. So, okay, so. Oh, it is shaking still though. It's weird.
Yeah, so it looks like the position didn't get reset.
Oh, what the?
That's probably another thing. Is once it respawns, you'll want to like reset it to its initial state.
Okay.
Um,
Hold on a second. I'm going to.
yeah, let's
I'm going to
let's use the
do
list.
this real quick. Just. I don't even know how to explain, so I'll just put the question marks. Okay, so they come back not shaking, but then if you touch them again, they start shaking, but then they stop.
Mhm.
So that's fun.
Yeah, I'm like, do you think you can, based on what we've been talking about, do you think you can tell me why you think that's happening? It's okay if not.
No, you're good. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Let me think. So, let's see. So, I wonder does this still, maybe does it have something to do with like this midpoint function? Like, so I have the collision layer and visibility layer going false so that you like fall through it. Is the reason why it doesn't like do it anymore is because the timer is done? I don't know if that's correct, but
That's a really good thought. I was thinking that was my initial guess as well.
okay.
When I started going off on that tangent at the beginning, I was like, oh, I wonder if the timer's resetting.
Mm.
Um, because you have time, um, your time variable. Do you know where you declared that? What lines is the time variable on?
The
There it
time.
is, line
Oh,
5.
yeah.
Okay, so it is a global variable.
Of course.
Global variable just means that that time is available in every function on this page.
Oh, okay. I got you.
And since you're adding 2 to the time in the process there,
Mm-hmm.
the time when it hits 5, it hits the timer midpoint.
Okay.
Timer start. Sorry, I got lost in the sauce there.
You're good. I do that all the time. You're fine.
I'm trying to go back to what you were talking about with the midpoint thing. Where the timer is already finished. So because the timer is already finished, it's probably just immediately setting the visibility and the collidability to true again.
Okay.
I think exactly kind of what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it does the midpoint and then it does the finish thing like immediately. Is my
Okay.
guess there. So
Interesting.
So good thinking through there. I'm
I
like,
mean,
I want to try and make sure I'm helping in a way that you can like learn to.
no,
It
you're
seems
good.
like you're
No,
picking up on things. So
I
that's
appreciate it.
good.
Yeah, that's the goal. So I appreciate it.
Okay. So I think this might go back to what I'm talking about with the initial state.
Okay.
If you think about this platform, it's spawned into existence. It endures this crisis of a player stepping on it. It gets really shaky.
Right.
And and then afterwards you want it to go back to how it was before the player stepped on it.
Right.
And we've done that by setting the process to false. So we've partially done that, I should say.
Okay.
But there's a couple other things that's true before the player steps on it that we haven't reset yet. The main thing is the time.
Okay.
So time before the player steps on it is equal to 1 there.
Right.
That's the first thing that you set it up as.
Yes.
After the player steps on it, then it runs process until time equals 5 and it hits the midpoint.
Okay.
And then it keeps running until the timer runs out, which I'm assuming is 2 seconds. You want to hover over the timer.start.
Oh, timer.start. Oh, right there.
Just hover over start there, and it should tell us. Starts the timer, resets the timer for started already. Tells us the timer is not inside the tree.
Yeah.
Time seconds greater than 0. This value is used for the wait. So yeah, it looks like the timer runs for 2 seconds.
Okay. Because yeah, that's like how long it stays gone is what I've noticed. Like before it respawns.
Yeah.
So.
Which would make sense here because you have the midpoint. So at 1 second is when we would expect it to disappear.
Sure.
And then timeout 2 seconds, you have it set to reappear.
Right.
So just before I get too carried away, how about we run the game again and just make sure that all of that logic is lining up?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, so they still are disappearing really quickly, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, they respawn. They just kind of respawn a little weirdly, and then they. Okay, so they still shake. They just
Yeah, the shake seems like it's about 2 seconds. So the disappearing might be. It's probably because you're calling the midpoint earlier than the actual midpoint, would be my guess.
Okay.
I do this a lot. The way that you broke out your list, when I'm working on my game, I'll do sort of the same thing. I'll be like, okay, what's going on here? I'll focus in on one of the points, and then I'll be like, okay, let's figure out what's going on first.
Right.
And then I just sort of try things and try and tweak it in the right direction until we get there. So
fair enough.
So which thing do you want to tackle next from your list? You might have already picked one, and I just got carried away.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I think it would be nice if we could find a way to make the tiles fallable again, or like make it so you can fall through them again after they respawn.
Okay. So the thing that let's try here is after this set process false, so add another line.
Okay.
Yeah, line 35 there, and do time equals 1.
Just one equal?
So here when just 1 equal.
Okay.
That should set the value of the time variable back to 1. So what it was before the player stepped on it.
Oh, okay. So do I want this just to say time 1, or do I need to like put the $sign timer, or?
I'm pretty sure it's just time equals 1.
Time equals 1.
Again, I'm not as familiar with the syntax.
Sure.
The grammar of, I think it's called GScript.
Yeah,
right?
GScript, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's run it and see what this does, if anything.
Yeah, let's see. What language do you use mostly?
Mostly C#.
C#. So you're cool. Okay, got it.
I'm cool sharp.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let me see. So they respawned. Let me actually get good at the game. 1 second. Okay, sweet. Yeah, that actually works.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Okay, that's good to see.
Yeah. So now, okay, hold on a second. Yay! Let's applaud. Yay! Let's go.
Awesome.
So that's good. So I think the problem now, like that we should figure out, is single-use platforms are dissolving too quickly. Because that is kind of the big thing. Is it's like when the people are like, "All right, it's time to go." You know.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Doesn't give them very much warning. They're just like, oh, cool.
just sweet, we're dead.
Like quicksand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So would that still be in the function on timer, or is that something? I guess that's a problem even before the timer runs out.
Yeah, so let's try working at this backwards. So
Okay.
which line of code is it that makes them disappear? Or
Uh,
lines, I guess. Which part of the code
oh,
makes
you're
them disappear?
yeah. Let's see. So this one is making it shake. This one is, so if your body enters it, then it makes the set process true and the timer starts. I'm assuming it's this one.
What makes you think that one?
Well, because the universe told because I mean, so
Oh,
yeah, I don't really know actually.
totally fine. I could see that being a thing because it's like it seems like it's disappearing as soon as you collide with it.
Yeah,
As soon
right,
as the
right.
body enters. Um,
But
I believe but um, it looks like it's that on timer midpoint where you set the
oh,
collision layer to false and the visibility layer to false.
yes, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So that's the bit of code that like actually makes it disappear.
Right.
It's just it seems like it's running that code as soon as you hit it for some reason.
So is it because I'm saying like on timer midpoint and then right here, like it says on timer midpoint right here? I don't
Did
know.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Okay.
So one thing that we can try, do you know how to comment out code in this? Because I don't know the syntax for that.
Do I know
Um,
how to do what again?
the programming term is comment out code, where it's like you leave the code there, but you make it a comment. It looks like maybe you do the
Oh,
little number
yeah.
symbol.
You do like the pound sign. Are you saying
Yeah,
to do it to this one?
yeah, exactly that.
Okay, let me do that real quick.
And then let's try run. Oh, it's gonna.
It says expected indented block after if block.
Yeah, why don't you pound out that if statement too?
Okay.
That sounds much funnier than commenting it out.
Yeah, I think from now on I think I will say let's pound it out. I like that.
It is really funny.
So you're saying run the game like that?
Yeah, and let's just see what happens. Then we can
Sure.
figure out if we're right or not about that line of code.
Okay. So it's making it not fall through anymore.
True.
Okay.
Yeah, so it seems like midpoint just isn't running,
Okay.
which is interesting. I'm like, I would imagine that would run automatically. This is part of me not being familiar with the code, but
Oh, you're good. You're
what
good.
we did do is they did not disappear immediately upon you sitting on them. So
Right.
we're headed in the right direction.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Um. Yeah. It just needs to like. I don't know exactly like how long, but like maybe like shake for like 1 second. So I'm just trying to figure out how to. Trying to figure everything out. My brain is
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna go to Google, our best friend. I'm gonna do a quick check on the on timer midpoint
Okay.
just to see if that's supposed to automatically run.
Sure.
So GD script on timer midpoint.
Thanks for your help again, by the way. You're
Yeah,
a wizard.
it's fun. I don't know about that, but I do my best.
Ah, sorcerer. Got it.
Sorcerer. I believe the difference is wizards like learn their craft, and sorcerers are like born
Oh
with
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. You're right. So wait,
So
you are a wizard. Yeah, exactly.
I think I would be a wizard by
Yeah,
that
there you
definition.
go. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so it looks like Godot has some official docs.
Sure.
I'll just post that in the YouTube chat unless there's a better place to send that.
You can either post in the YouTube chat or is it like a link?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you put it in the do you know the channel that we're on
Text
right now? Can you
channel?
put it in the text channel? Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
This is what I'm looking at. So.
Okay, let me. Okay, got it. Doink.
I don't know if this is the same thing that you're using because it looks like it's got. It doesn't have the midpoint. Oh, it's probably because is stopped. No. I think I'm looking at the wrong thing.
You're
Because
good.
none of this looks like what you're using.
It doesn't really, but I wonder. Let me see something real quick. Let's see. Timer. Okay, so yeah, that was the same thing that you pulled up. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
My guess then is that is the timeout signal. Does that sound familiar to you? Is that something that you did in like a previous stream?
Timeout signal.
Yeah. If that doesn't sound familiar, then
well, I'm sure it might, or I might have done it, but I have slept since then, so yeah.
Valid.
Yeah.
I'll like walk through a doorway and forget what I was doing.
Or yes, yeah, exactly. It's funny.
Or,
I'm
like,
taking
left
Adderall
with
now,
water
but
bottle.
sometimes I'm like, oh, it's not doing anything.
Oh yeah. And let's check the timer then. So back on Godot, if you click on the timer
on
on the left side, in like
oh, this
the
one, yeah,
C3,
right here.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like on the right side there, you can see the timeout thing there, and it looks like you've done on timer timeout.
Okay.
That's back on this single-use platform. If you scroll down,
right here.
yeah, that's the thing that you made there.
This one right here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I see what's happening now. So essentially, what you're doing is with that $ timer, you're telling this timer to start.
Okay.
And when the timer runs out, by connecting the signals there, you're saying, okay, when the timer times out, when the timer runs out, I want you to run this piece of code.
Okay.
And then you put, this is the piece of code that it runs.
Okay. That makes sense.
Which tells me that the midpoint is not connected to the timer.
Oh.
Which means we're running it ourselves.
So.
Which we can do.
No, we have the technology. But
We do.
okay, so is there something that I need to like put under this or?
Good question.
The answer.
I'm thinking probably not, because what we want here, we want the platform to disappear midway through the timer, right?
Right, yeah.
So it's like the timer runs for 2 seconds, and we want it to disappear at 1 second.
Yeah.
So it looks like the timer doesn't actually have like a midpoint signal.
Okay.
So that's the timeout signal. So it shoots out its little signal when it's done. And then the platform is like, oh, I need to run this code now. But we
Right.
don't have that for the midpoint,
Okay.
which is why it was being handled in the process.
Oh.
Um,
Okay.
so let's go back and look at that code that you pounded out.
Lovely. Okay. So these two right here.
Yes.
Okay.
This is the part where I believe Delta will come in. Let me do a quick Google search of that to make sure
Hey, you do you,
I'm
boo.
understanding that. Because
Yeah.
Delta time is something that I use frequently. I use it all the time in Unity. I've used it in Monogame.
I forgot you're a veteran. I forgot that you you look at this and you're just like, easy. I got this.
I don't know if I would say easy. Like, every problem is a new problem, I feel like.
Okay, instead of easy, I got this, it's, yeah, I got it. I'll figure it out.
I use my wizardry skills to
Exactly.
put pieces together.
Exactly.
Okay.
The problem is I'm a bard, so
A bard.
yeah, pretty much.
You give us the encouragement that we need to keep going, and
Well,
I appreciate
I
it.
didn't say I was a good bard. I'm just a bard. So
Well, I said you were a good bard, so
thanks,
we'll have to
man.
deal with that.
I appreciate it.
All right, so let's see. If you hover over process, like we did with start,
This one right here.
yeah, so just hover over the word process. So that'll
Okay.
give us the description of what it's supposed to do.
Okay.
Yeah, so here it's telling us, called during the processing step of the main loop, processing happens every frame as fast as possible. So delta time, since the previous frame is not constant, delta is in seconds.
Okay.
So what you can think about here is process runs every frame. Are you familiar with what frames are in computer programming?
I don't know if in computer programming. I just
Or
know
I
like
guess in games works too.
I was about to say like so if things are 60 FPS, that means that they run 60 or like 60 pictures play per second. So
Yes.
yeah.
So here, let's use that example, 60 FPS. So
Okay.
let's say that your game is running at 60 frames per second.
Mm-hmm.
That means that every second, process gets run 60 times.
Okay.
So if you move your mouse so we can see the code.
Right here.
Yeah. So let's look through here. This is going to run 60 times in 1 second. So the first time it runs, time is equal to 1.
Right.
It's going to go through time plus equals 2, which adds 2 to the current value of time. So now
Okay.
time is 3.
Okay.
And then it sets the position. So that's the first time it runs.
Sure.
The second time it runs, we go through. Time is 3, so it's not equal to 5, so it's going to skip that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to add 2 again. So it's going to say 3 plus 2. Now time is equal to 5. It's going to change the position. Cool.
Okay.
Now we run it again. So the third time we're running it, it goes if time's equal to 5, and this time time is equal to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's added up. So it'd say, oh, time's equal to 5. So now we're going to run the on timer midpoint code.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Which, as we've talked about, the on timer midpoint is what makes the platform disappear.
Oh,
So
okay.
your 60 FPS game runs this 3 times, and then so that's what, like 1/20th of a second?
Yeah.
So the platform disappears in 1/20th of a second.
Jeez. Okay, that makes sense.
So that's why the platform was disappearing so fast, is because process is running essentially 60 times per second.
Ah, okay.
And that's if Godot is capped. I know when I run my current build of Bling, it can go up to like 110, 120 frames per second.
Man, fancy.
So that platform would be gone in like 1/40th of a second, you know?
Lands on it, and the bird goes, oh!
It'd be gone.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, in order to make it disappear later, we make this number bigger?
That is one solution. So why don't we go ahead and try that and
Okay.
just see what happens?
Do I unpound it?
So, yes.
Okay, perfect.
Unpound it.
Unpound the
Both of
thing.
those lines there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe, so if I wanted it to last 1 second, I can't remember. I think right now I'm at 60, but I can't remember how many frames things run. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So would I want it to be like,
60.
what if I did 30? Is that too many?
Let's give it a try. Assuming that it's running at 60 frames per second, and
That's
adds
like half a
2 to
second.
time every time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, let's give it a try.
Yeah, sure. See what
I
happens.
do this all the time with my gaming. I'll just twist the numbers around a little bit and see what happens. Interesting. It didn't actually disappear at all.
Did I turn something off? I don't think so. No.
I wonder if it just never hit 30 somehow. That doesn't seem correct though.
What if
Let's try setting it, yeah, to like 10 or 20 or something.
Yeah, I'll try 10. Let's see. Go away. Sorry.
Yeah, that's weird that they're not disappearing now.
That is weird. I wonder why 5 was the magic number.
Try setting it back to 5 just to see
if it actually works.
If it goes back to the way it was before, yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Hi-ya.
It does.
Yep. So I wonder. Okay. So give me a second. Let me try that. Let me be funny. Let me see.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's very weird.
Why is 5 the magic number?
I don't know. I saw a tutorial online and the guy was like, "Hey, now do you put in the 5?" And I was like, "Okay, I'll put it as 5."
Oh yeah, 7 does that as well.
So 7 is the highest it can go. But why is that?
Very odd.
That was weird. That's weird. That's very weird.
Yeah. Let's continue with the Delta conversation. We can come back to this and hopefully it will work better.
It will magically work. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So on Delta, you said?
Yeah, so Delta gives us the amount of time that's passed since the last frame in seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the alternative solution to just making the number bigger.
Okay.
And the reason to use Delta time is that you don't know how fast your player's computer is going to be running.
True.
They could be like super high-tech bro with the latest gaming computer and it's running at 200 frames per second.
Okay.
Or they could be running on like the oldest laptop that you could find at the landfill.
Nice.
And it runs at like 2 frames per second.
Sure.
And so using Delta time helps keep the movement consistent regardless of how many frames it's running at.
Interesting. Okay.
So the idea here is if you want time, if you want it to last for 1 second,
mm-hmm.
Then we want to be counting time in seconds.
Okay.
So if you go down to the time plus equals 2.
Right here.
Let's try replacing the 2 with Delta, like we did earlier and made it super funny.
So like.
So you'll need the underscore before Delta.
What does the underscore mean, or like why is that significant?
So if you look at process in the parentheses there, you see how it has Delta.
Yes.
And so that's called a. Yes, it has the underscore. So we're using the exact same Delta, so we need to write it exactly the same way.
Mm.
in programming, that's called a parameter.
Okay.
So this process function has the delta parameter, which means that when the game runs process, it's giving the process how much time has passed since the last time it ran process.
Okay.
And the location that the way that it's giving you the process here is through the delta variable. It's setting the delta variable equal to however much time has passed, which means that now anytime that you use delta within this function, you're going to be using the value that it gave you.
Okay.
Does that all make sense enough?
I think so. In saying it makes sense.
There's probably a better way to describe it.
You're good.
I'm not used to this.
No. I think it's just because I still have yet to learn a lot of stuff. So, but no, I think it makes sense.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, based on this code, time would start at 1, and then every time process runs, it's going to add the delta to it. So, let's say we've got our 60 FPS game.
Okay.
Which means that, just for ease of sake, I'm going to go back to that crappy laptop and say we're running at 2 FPS.
Love to see it.
It's going to be great for this example and probably nothing else.
Perfect.
So we're going to go through, and the first frame that we run is going to be the first time that we run process, and so delta is 0.
Okay.
So time is going to add 0. It's going to stay 1.
Okay.
And then it goes away. And then we come back to the process half a second later because we're doing 2 frames per second. So half a second has passed. So we're going to get down here, and time is going to add delta, which is 0.5. So now time equals 1.5.
Okay.
Then we leave. Then we come back and run process again, the second frame that we get this second.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been another half second since the last time we ran process. So we're going to go through, add another 0.5. Now time is equal to 2.
Okay.
So what that does is now your time is accurately showing how much time in seconds has passed, whereas previously you were counting frames. Mm-hmm. Every time it went through, it was saying every frame add 2 to this. Now it's saying every frame add however many seconds it's been since the last frame.
Okay.
So based on that, if we ran this code, I would expect it to hit the midpoint at 5 seconds.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and change that 5, if time equals 5, change that to a 1, and then let's just run the game and see what happens.
Okay. Let's see.
Again, the position thing is probably going to look really funky, but... Oh no, they just disappeared immediately. Oh, I'm stupid. It's because we originally set time to 1. So it is actually happening immediately. It enters the code.
Okay.
It's also making them reappear way down there.
Yeah, way down there, yeah.
Yeah, that's another problem for the next step.
Okay, so do we keep time plus equal delta?
So I think the way I would go about it is time in this case is our timer, right? We're counting seconds.
Yes, yeah.
So what I would do is I would set up on line 5, where you have time equals 1.
Right.
I'd actually do time equals 0. So we're going to start at 0 seconds.
Okay.
And then the other place that we reset time, if you remember, was when the timer ran out.
So
scroll down there.
Yeah, and then time would equal 0, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
see what
just try
happens.
that and fingers crossed.
Yeah. Geronimo!
Huh.
Very interesting. Why is it... What? Okay. Well...
Interesting. Let me count seconds when you land on one.
Okay. Give me a second. I'll get back up. And...
Yeah. Okay.
And now it's not even respawning.
I wonder if it's because it's an equals. Yeah, so the thing there, to take a step back from what I'm thinking, and let's talk through what's actually happening.
Okay.
Um, so you land on it, which starts the process running.
Mm-hmm.
And then the process runs for 2 seconds until the timer tells it to stop running.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that the position there is changing for those 2 seconds. So that's why it like falls slowly. And then when you fall down to the lower platform, you can see the sprite is still there.
Right.
Because we're only moving the sprite. We're not moving the actual platform. So that's why the sprite for the platform falls, but you're still standing there on invisible air.
Mm-hmm.
The problem that we're running into is it's not running the on timer midpoint.
Right. The okay. This one right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Because the collision layer never goes to false, you just stay standing on it.
Yeah.
Visibility layers never false because
it just decides to take
sprite.
a vacation. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Sure.
So our next step here is figuring out why the midpoint isn't running.
Because let's see. So function on timer midpoint. The only other time is right here.
Right.
So is something wrong with this?
Probably. Not probably. Yes.
The answer is yes.
I'm so non-committal.
You're good.
You're correct. That's the only other point that we're referencing it, and that reference is called a call. We're calling the function.
Okay.
By typing its name there, you're saying, hey, I want to run that code here.
Mm-hmm.
And that code isn't running, even though we've typed it there, which means there's something wrong with specifically the if statement.
The if statement. Okay. So I know we changed this from... Wait. No, we didn't change that one. That one's always been 1, right?
Yeah, at least this time that we've run it.
Right, yeah, because we changed time equals 0, and this says if time equals... Is this equals, or is this... what? I'm trying to remember what my father taught me. He said something like comparable, or something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
So by having 2 equal signs there, you're saying is time equal to 1?
Okay.
You're asking a question like, is time equal to 1?
Mm-hmm.
If you have only 1 equals there, it's a I'm trying to remember the name for that. You're setting the value. You're saying time you now equal 1.
Yeah, so it becomes law or something like that.
Yeah. So 2 equals is the comparison.
Mm-hmm.
The conditional, I think is what it is.
Okay.
So looking at that, one problem that we could run into here, I don't know if this is what it is, but it could be, is that we're saying if time is exactly equal to 1.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, if we're running at like 60 frames per second, and then somewhere in the middle it changes to like 59 frames per second, we lose a frame somewhere in there.
Okay.
Suddenly we've added a very weird number, like 1 divided by 59 to time, which makes it extremely unlikely that time is ever going to be exactly equal to 1.
Right. Okay.
So just as a test, if you have that conditional there, the 2 equal signs,
mm-hmm.
if you delete the left equal sign and put a greater than sign.
A greater than?
Yeah, so the shift period key.
Right. So you're saying if time is greater than or equal to 1?
Yes, that one's actually a less than, if time is less than or equal to 1.
Yeah, well, okay, I went to college for a semester. Okay, there we go. Sounds good.
To be fair, the keys are right next to each other on the keyboard.
Yeah.
So.
Do I need this colon right here, or?
That's something I'm not as familiar with because that's a syntax thing, a grammar thing for GD script. I'm going to assume yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it tells you if you erase it. It's like,
Okay,
hey, I don't
yeah.
like that.
Okay, so we're saying if time is greater than or equal to 1, then the on-timer midpoint goes off.
Yeah. So here, let's run this. I'm not expecting this to work completely,
Sure.
but I'm hoping that it's going to work at least a little bit.
Yeah, it did.
It did. Okay.
So,
Cool.
yeah, the time was pretty good. I can, like, mess with the time. Now the only problem is it just kind of drops. And then not respawn. I don't think, at least. Yeah, okay. So, 1 second, let me... Invisible layer. Oh, 1 second.
Believe in you.
Okay. So, okay, the layer is coming back, which is nice. The visual itself is just right there, which is less than ideal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Why don't we revisit your checklist real quick?
Yes.
I need to step away for half a second, but I can be right back.
You're fine. You're fine. You do what you got to do.
Yeah, just give me a second here. I'm trying to figure out how to.
You're good.
Mute myself.
I think if you go to the call itself, there should be a... So if you click on General, there should be a turn off microphone if you see like a little microphone button.
Huh. Like I said, it has been years since I've done this, so...
Man, you're an old timer.
Turn off microphone. I know, right? Okay, I'm going to try this and see.
Yep, it worked. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a genius. He figured it out. Alrighty, so let's see. So now we can say that the issue, as of right now, so the platforms are no longer dissolving too quickly. So the problem now is the single-use platforms. I don't know why. Okay. So the single-use platforms are... let's see. Maybe we'll call it the... Or what is it actually called? Let's see. So they're sprites. Are falling, not respawning, and staying below. I'll just see. Falling, not breaking. We'll put it that way. Interesting. Okay, so okay, so single-use platform sprites are falling. So the problem now is with the sprite itself. I wonder if it has something.
I'm back, by the way.
Hello.
Surprise.
That's what I say. How are you doing?
Doing well. I have that effect on people.
Oh, you do it. All right, so okay, so here's what my little pea brain self was able to think while you were dispersed.
So excited.
So basically, the problem is with the sprite now, and not necessarily with visibility layer, right? Or maybe, I have no idea.
Yes.
So the collision layer is fine because it keeps coming back and all that. The only problem now is the sprite itself is acting wonky and the visibility layer is acting wonky.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my brain. Shapes
It's a
are
great
not
starting
shaping.
point, to be honest.
What was that?
It's a great starting point.
Thanks.
Because you've narrowed down which parts of the code we should look at.
Right.
Because you've realized, oh, the problem is with the sprite.
Mm-hmm.
So to figure out the problem, let's take a look at the parts of the code that reference the sprite.
So here was like a big one because this is the sprite position. But yeah, so here's the sprite 2D itself, which is hold on a second, I'm gonna go here. Which is, let me go into inspector. Yeah, so that's the actual sprite itself, is the sprite 2D. But then it also references does it reference never mind, I am silly. So yeah, so
Really fine.
sprite 2D, and then with the midpoint and everything, the visibility layer is the reference 2? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, let's
I
keep
knew.
that in mind.
Yeah, okay.
The visibility and the sprite position, both of those are parts of the sprite.
Yes.
Or they influence how we see the sprite.
Right.
So let's start with those.
Okay.
So I'll try putting you on the spot again, just because I want to try and help you in a way that's going to help you even when I'm not here.
I love that. I love that.
So we've got that line of code, the sprite 2D dot position.
Right.
We know that the sprite is not appearing where we expect it to be.
Right.
So can you tell me how that line of code influences where the sprite is?
I sure can. Give me a second. Using floating point. See this vector 2 thing, right? It's a 2D vector using floating point coordinates.
Very true.
And that is saying that it is a 0. But then it's this I have no idea. So
totally fine.
So
like I said,
yeah.
Putting you on the spot there.
No, you're good. Once again, a very nice Indian man on the internet had just told me, like, you just put this in. And I was like, okay.
All right. Let's go through each piece then. You were right in everything that you told me.
Okay, perfect.
With vector 2, 2 points. This is going to bring back a lot of math, so I hope you like that.
Okay, perfect.
If not, I'm sorry.
If not, tough beans.
So the first part there, the sprite 2D dot position.
Okay.
Do you know what that's referring to?
So, not necessarily, but what I can gather is like everything that's a money sign is dealing with the nodes themselves. So this is saying, oh, you node, the sprite node, the sprite 2D node, this one right here. So the actual sprite itself, we're going to mess with its position, and that position is plus or equal to this. So what it's saying... Go on.
Go ahead.
So what it's saying is the... sorry, Discord. So what it's saying is if we go into, like, for instance... this right here. This is saying if I step on this, then the sprite will go somewhere else. That is vector 2 sine time times 2?
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, he's done it.
I was afraid you were about to say absolutely not.
Oh man, I know that fear, but don't worry, you were correct.
Wow.
Yeah, good job.
Thanks.
That's exactly what's going on here.
Okay.
One of the notable things to point out is, as you noticed, we're referencing the Sprite 2D node directly.
Yes.
Which means we're changing the Sprite 2D's position, which means we're not changing the collider's position. The only thing that's changing is the sprite, the thing that we're seeing, but the thing that the little player object is interacting with, that part isn't changing.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why it seems like you're standing on an invisible platform.
Yes.
It's because the collider box is still there, even though the sprite isn't.
Right. Which is what we want. So we don't want to mess with the collider box. What we're worried about right now is the sprite. Okay.
Yeah. So we've got the plus equals there. That's a shorthand in programming.
Right.
When you see the plus equals, it means we're going to set position equal to position plus this vector 2.
Okay.
And I guess I should take a step back. Vector 2 is coordinates. It's an X and a Y.
Okay.
So the position is the X and Y where the sprite is being drawn.
Okay. So
I don't know exactly.
X and Y coordinates. Okay, cool.
Yes, X and Y coordinates.
Okay.
So you'll notice in the vector 2 that we're adding, the X value is 0.
Okay, right here.
Because we're not moving it horizontally, we're only moving it vertically. So we're changing the Y and not the X.
Okay, yeah, and the reason, so, because this is the shaking thing. So, like, the animation of it shaking, it was just going up and down. It wasn't going side to side. So I'm assuming that, okay, cool. But now it's just moving down very far. So
it is. And that's because of the equation that we're using.
Right.
And that's where we get into graphing calculators.
Yay.
So I'm going to send another link in the text channel there.
Okay. My old nemesis. Okay, perfect.
True.
I did.
This is an online graphing calculator. I use it a lot when I'm trying to figure out equations in coding.
Okay.
Because I took math, but I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. I just want to try things out until it looks the way I want.
Fair, yeah.
So right now, if you look at the code, you have.
You're
good.
To the side.
Yeah, the position. So in this case, I'm gonna have position be y. Y equals. In this case, it's y plus b.
I want you to know I've never used a graphing calculator before, actually.
That is okay.
I was too dumb to make it that far in math.
Graphing calculators are very... you can make lots of cool looking stuff with them.
Yes.
And that's primarily what we're doing here.
I like cool stuff. Cool.
One thing that I want to try before we get too far into this is I want to see what happens when we delete the plus. Just say position equals.
Okay. Dook. All right.
Yeah.
So if we try that, all of a sudden that becomes a law. Will it move at all?
It moved a tiny bit.
Yeah, but okay.
I don't know if you could see that.
Whee! Yeah.
Yeah, you see how it's like a tiny bit there?
Yeah, now it's well, let me see. Now that it's respawned, if I try it again. it just goes lower and lower. Okay, cool.
Well, the interesting thing is you'll notice as soon as you land on it, it actually resets its position.
Yeah.
It ends up right underneath the player again. Because right now you see it's a tiny bit lower.
Uh-huh.
And if you land on it, it moves back up to be flush with the player's feet again.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
So that's a fun thing that's happening because we reset time.
That sounds so powerful
really
when you say it that way.
I know, right?
We reset time.
Same brain cell right there.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I personally like doing it this way. The difference here between having the plus and having the equals is when you have the plus, it's going to take the current position and it's going to move the platform by whatever amount the sine of time times 2 is.
Huh. Okay.
So it'll move it by that amount every time when you have plus equals. Whereas when you only have equals, it's going to just set the position of the platform to whatever the sine of time is.
Okay.
And I like this better because it's a lot easier to visualize with the graphing calculator.
Yeah.
So if you go and open up that Desmos thing again.
Oh, yeah. Whoop. Got it.
What we have here in the code is an equation.
Right.
I said the position is equal to y. In this case, we're going to say the y position because we're not touching the x position at all.
Sure.
So y makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
The thing is, in this case, x is going to be time. So our equation is it's the sine, sin.
Okay.
So y equals sine.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't say the
See,
y equals.
this is why I'm bad at math. Yeah, exactly.
And then do a open parenthesis.
Open parenthesis.
And then do x.
X. Whoa.
And then close parenthesis.
Interesting. So it goes.
And then yes. And then do times 2. Use the
star.
The star symbol. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So that's currently what our platform is doing. X is measured in seconds. So you might want to zoom in between like 0 and 1. So you can see there it goes from 0 to
okay, yeah.
So what we're having happen right now is when time is equal to 0, the y position is equal to 0. It's the original position.
Okay.
Then as time increases, we're going to add 1 to as time increases to 1, I should say, you can see that we increase, we go up to 1, we go past 1, and it looks like we end up around like 1.7 or something.
I was going to say,
at 1 second.
Yeah. Okay. It's like almost 1.5, but yeah, like a little above that.
Yeah. The reason it's a little bit weird here, it gets into mathy stuff, so I won't go too far into that.
You're good.
Mostly we just need to worry about making it look nice, but it has to do with sine is the wavelengths they're based on.
Okay.
They're based on pi. I'm going to grab some water real quick.
You're fine. You do what you...
More talking than I do in most of my life.
Fair enough, yeah. Yo, Chad, thank you so much for the 12 likes, by the way. I appreciate you.
Ooh, that's very exciting. Thank you, guys.
Yes. Go subscribe over to Breezem. I don't know, but...
I'm like, I don't know if I even have a thing to subscribe to.
Fair enough.
I need to fix that, but...
Dude, you should do
should
do like coding tutorials or something. I bet you would make a boatload out of that.
I'd have to figure out how to actually do a good tutorial instead of let's make this graph look pretty.
I mean, some people might like that though.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I guess you never know until you try, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So speaking of trying, let's try and make this graph look the way we want it to.
So are we wanting it to look like straight up and down, or what is the shape we're aiming for?
Great question. To answer that question, how much do you want the platform to shake?
I think it would be nice if it like shook like a lot. Like not like up and down a lot, but like really quickly, like very like a lot of shaking. This is gonna be a reference that I hope that you get. Do you know in Pokemon Crystal when you when the Pokemon gets a status condition and it like shakes a little bit, like a little bit. It's not like a lot of shaking, but it's like really really quick. So like something like that. I knew that you wouldn't fail me. Perfect.
High frequency but low amplitude.
Yes.
So frequency we adjust by putting a number inside the parentheses. Amplitude we adjust by putting a number outside the parentheses.
Okay.
So just for ease here, let's delete the 2.
Delete the 2.
So that you can, and the time symbol.
Got it.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So this is what it's going to look like from the start.
Okay.
So let's start with the frequency thing.
Sure.
So you want it to happen a lot in a short amount of time.
Yes.
Right? So inside the parenthesis, right before X, put a number, whatever number you want.
I like the number 3. Ooh.
There you go. You see how the
6.
It got shorter there.
Okay.
So that means the platform is going to be shaking faster. The shakes happen closer together.
Mm-hmm.
So the higher you make that number, the more it's going to shake.
Unlimited. Okay, cool. I like that.
There you go.
Excellent.
So having discovered this, let's go back to the code and apply this.
Okay. So
again, go ahead.
No, you're good. So in the parentheses. Wait, let me pull out my calculator. Teacher, let me put out my calculator. 1 second. So we want it in the parentheses before the X. So would we want to change the 0?
So we want to change the sign. The 0 here, remember, is the X value.
You're right. Yes.
We're trying to change specifically the Y value, which right now, the Y value is sign of time.
Yes. Okay. So we want to change the 2.
We do want to change that. Right now, let's just delete it.
Just delete it, and also the multiplicative?
Yes.
Okay.
Then if you look back at our equation.
Mm-hmm. Right there.
Remember that in this case, X is time.
Yes. So we want before the time. So like, is it stupid for me to say 6 time?
Yes, it is. Not stupid at all. You'll want to do the multiplication symbol here.
Like that.
Yeah, because in math, when you've got the 6x, that's shorthand for 6 times x.
Oh, okay. I got you. So if we played...
So again, exactly.
Okay. So, I mean, like, it did more. It just... It
did more, yeah.
So we just need to make it, like... faster! Yo,
yes.
Check this out. 66.
Oh, boy.
Let's see what happens.
Order 66?
Oh, no. Someone's gonna die. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. That was
there
great.
You go.
Actually, uh-oh.
Oh, man.
Shoot.
It's real crazy here.
All right, let's see what happens. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, my goodness. Well, that's just wonderful, isn't it? Huh.
It is very fun.
Okay. Yeah. Well, wait, hold on. All of our problems are solved. 1 second. Because
not all of them, but we'll get to that.
Okay, wait. But we're falling through now.
We are, yes.
Hey. Okay. So, but you're saying that's not our... Okay, I feel a little... there we go. Crisis averted. Okay, so...
True. Dave.
So you're saying that all of our problems are not solved, though?
There's one small thing that is probably not noticeable here, but there's going to be a couple of things to point out.
Okay.
To start with, let's go back to the list of problems that you had set up,
Yes.
and let's just run through those. And
Okay. So dissolving too quickly, we figured that out. Single-use platforms still shake upon respawn. They... Ooh, actually, hold on a second. Let me double check. Because they were moving. Let me see. Okay, so they're not moving anymore, so that problem's fixed. Okay. No longer able to dissolve upon respawn. I thought that was fixed because... Let's see. Yee! Okay. I mean, I would like the... Well, 1 second at a time. Okay. So wait, they do that. I'm so bad at the game. I made the game. Okay, so... Yeah. Just... Ugh. Okay, so yeah, that's fixed as well. Okay. Okay. Falling, not breaking, not respawning. I think that's fixed as well. I'm just gonna double check. So, let's see, so... Yeah, no, that's fixed too. Or dadgum.
So, the mystery thing that I'm referring to, we'll get to in half a second.
Okay.
One thing I want to point out before we get away from the shaking, it seems like you're happy with how the shaking looks. Am I right in reading that?
I think the look itself looks really good, yeah.
Okay. Because I was going to say, you can make it shake more. That was the amplitude part.
Okay.
By putting a number outside the parenthesis.
Well, I mean, I'm willing to
graph,
try, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can do it here if you don't want to bother with the graph.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I forgot. Okay.
That is okay.
So you're saying put it outside?
Yeah, so specifically before the sign.
Oh, before sign. Okay.
Yep. So just put a number there. Again, any number.
9. Holy. Okay.
Yep. So one thing I want to keep in mind here is units. So our X, our time, is measured in seconds.
Right.
So every second, ish. Every second, a second passes.
I mean, that makes sense.
X is measured in seconds, so you've got by the time it hits 2, it'll have done. It looks like almost 2 full cycles.
Okay.
And Y, the Y axis is measured in pixels. So every cycle is going up to 5 and then down to -5.
Right. Okay. So if we made it like a 2, okay. Okay. Well.
Yeah, and right now, since we don't have anything there, it's going up and down by 1 pixel.
Okay, by 1.
So it's shaking a really small amount, just up and down 1.
Okay. It's saying invalid numeric notation. Does that mean that I have to like do something to the 2 if I wanted to?
It means that we need the multiplier again.
Oh, okay.
The multiplication symbol.
Like that. Okay, right.
Yeah.
So if
again,
I tried...
code is a little bit more specific about needing that.
Yeah. So what you're saying is if I jump on this, then it will go up and down more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. I kind of like the 1. I kind of like the little bit, but can you do like a 1.5?
Let's try it.
I'm giving it a try. I actually really like that one.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to see
Oh.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's the mystery problem that I was referring to that we haven't solved yet.
Ah, cheeky. Oh, and they're moving right now too. Or they were. Maybe. Let's see. I swear they were moving.
I'm guessing it's because you were on the moving platform. Pixels
Oh yeah,
can
they were.
sometimes be a little bit. Yeah, pixels can be a little bit jittery.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
So yeah, but it did look like
Yeah.
one of them ended up lower. So I
Yes.
see what the mystery problem is now.
That is the mystery problem, and we weren't seeing it because the shake value was so small.
Sure.
That it wasn't a noticeable problem.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Um,
So what do we do?
so this actually brings us back full circle to the first thing we were talking about,
Oh,
which is the platform existed in a perfect state until the player landed on it.
right.
Then it had some crazy stuff happen, and then after it's done, we want it to go back to the way it was before the player landed on it.
Mm-hmm.
So you remember where the code is where we change it back to the way it was before?
Sorry, changed what before?
The code where we reset the platform.
That was the set process false right here.
Yes, that whole block of code, the on timer timeout,
Okay.
where we set it back to the collision layer true,
Okay.
visibility layer true,
And then set process false.
and time to 0.
Times 0, yeah.
There's one thing there that we haven't set back to how it was before the player landed on it.
Okay.
Based on what we've been working on, do you want me to just tell you what it is, or do you want to guess?
Sorry, can you say that one more? My phone just like set a weird alert. Sorry. So.
Okay, I got that too.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm glad that the alert went out. So, okay. You were okay. What was the question though?
So the question was, there's one thing here that we haven't reset.
Okay.
Can you guess what that is, or do you want me to just tell you?
I think it has something to do. Is it with this? The variable instance, this object dot this.
Instantiate?
Thank you.
I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not 100% sure why that line of code is
I'm going to
there.
be completely honest. I don't know either. A wonderful viewer of mine said that I should put it there, and I don't know why. So
I'm guessing it's creating a copy of this object,
okay.
or it's resetting this object. I'd have to look
Okay.
into what instantiate means in the context of Godot.
I'm going to do something silly just to see what happens. Okay.
Oh yeah, found that out.
Pound it out. Okay, so, but I'm assuming now this time equals 0. That's not what reset.
So that's where we reset the time.
Ah, well then
so-
maybe you should tell me because now I am lost.
Totally fine. It's the position.
Position.
Because if you remember, in process, we're changing the position of the sprite. So let's say, yeah, if it runs for a second, then that sprite is going to be moved like 1 pixel up or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
Which means that when the timer times out, process stops running, and the sprite is stuck at that +1 position.
Right. Okay.
So when we reset the platform, we're going to want to reset the position.
Sure. Yeah.
To the original position.
Okay.
Which, lucky for us, should just be 0.
Yeah. So hold on a second. So do we write a line of code in here with the $sprite 2D dot position?
Yes, you got it.
Okay. Do I do that under time?
Mhm.
Okay. Does it really matter where I put it as long as it's in here?
As long as it's in here, it doesn't really matter with what you're doing right now.
Not
Um,
spiked. Okay.
I think technically, I would probably put it before visibility is true.
Oh, okay. I
Um,
can do that.
just because it shouldn't ever matter, but somehow if the sprite gets rendered in between while this code is running, again, I don't think that should ever happen, but
But in
just
case it does.
the way my brain works.
Sure.
Um, that way you're resetting the position before you make it visible, so there's no chance that the player will see it in a weird position.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. What's up, Aurora Plays? Welcome on to the stream. How you doing, my friend? So are you saying, so in order to reset it to 0, do we do equals or comparable to 0 or?
So what you said first is correct.
Equals. Okay.
'Cause,
Equals.
again, we're setting the law here. We're not
Sure.
asking it a question.
Do I get away with this? Okay. So, okay.
I'm curious if this will work.
Just
'Cause
like
it's
that.
not throwing any errors here.
Yeah. Let me see what happens. It just breaks. Oh. Okay. Well.
I mean, it takes skill to thread the needle.
Oh
like
wow.
that,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah. It did. It actually did break. Okay. Cool. What programming
Okay, yeah.
language? This is GDscript. GTscript. I don't even know. Oh, it's GDscript. Yeah. Okay. Yep. It's Godot's in-house. Thank you. I appreciate you for putting that because anyway. Okay. Okay. So it broke. Invalid assignment of property or key position with value of type int on a base object of type sprite 2D.
Yeah. Essentially, what you're doing is, if you check the other place that we set position
Of the sprite.
back in the process, yeah.
Okay.
What's different between those two ways?
Between this and this?
Yeah.
Well,
What's different?
the vector, I would say.
Exactly.
Okay.
So remember, the position is a coordinate. It has an x value and a y value.
Okay.
Essentially, what you just did with that position equals 0 is you said, I'm going to take these 2 points and I want them to be equal to 0. Instead of saying like you're trying to say 0, that 1 0 is 2 points.
Oh,
And that's
the
why
computer was like, oh.
It's like, I don't think that abstractly.
To be honest, kid, no. Okay.
So we're going to need to change that.
Okay.
So the computer doesn't die.
That'd be nice. So we want it to be vector 2. Do we want it to be... well, I guess it wouldn't... oh, hold on. Do we want to do vector 2... 0, 0?
Let's try that.
I feel like you know the answer and you're just waiting to see me go, like, be like, oh no.
I mean, yes. It didn't break.
It didn't break.
So that's the first win.
So it doesn't look unusual.
It shouldn't. You've done it correctly, as far as I'm aware, so it should be working now.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm not seeing a difference there, so hopefully that means we're resetting the position correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it is, but yeah, you got that. You got that part figured out there.
Oh, man alive!
I know, right?
We done did it.
We did.
That's beautiful. I would hug you if you weren't across wherever you are.
Virtual hug.
Virtual. Oh, love it. So, okay. So, that's nice. Cool.
So, that was a fair bit of information. I'm gonna have
Yes.
to wrap up here shortly.
You're fine. You said 30
Um,
minutes, and now it's been 2 hours. So,
uh, I think it's only been like, oh, it has been an hour and a half.
dang. Okay.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yes.
But before I leave you to,
My own
I was
devices.
going to say something. Yeah, leave you to your own devices. Thank you. Let's double check the list, make sure that we did solve everything. I'm pretty sure we did because
Okay. Yeah. Dissolving too
we
quickly.
solved.
I think they're a little too slow now, so I'm gonna mess with the time, but I feel like I can figure that out. So, the single-use platforms shake upon respawn. They do not anymore. No longer able to dissolve. That's fixed. Single-use platforms are falling, not breaking, not respawning. That's fixed as well. So I think we got it, actually.
Mhm. And we
Insanity.
also fixed the mystery problem.
We did what? Oh yeah, the
So-
mystery problem. Yeah.
The mystery problem.
Yes.
So before I completely wrap up, I know that was a ton of information.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. But it was good.
Do you have
information.
any takeaways from that, or things that you want to follow up on, or
Yes, call you when I have
Um,
problems. I mean, so no, I actually do appreciate because one thing that I think makes I'm sure there's going to be a lot of things where I'm like, oh, what does this mean again? But this in particular, the vector sprite, like the positioning and everything, like I didn't know what that meant, but that makes like total sense that it's like on a graph. So
Mhm.
that makes sense. I would say. Let's look at everything else. I think I understand like the concept of like I mean, maybe not understand it, but like
Fair,
starting
honestly.
to understand a little bit about like when you set the process, like whenever like what the process is. Like I said, maybe I don't understand it as much as I hoped I would. But it makes sense that like with the process, it takes it by like a frame. And then the set process false was the big savior, I would say. And then yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's other takeaways, but those are like
Totally fine.
the big nuggets that stand out the most.
Yeah, in this case, I'm not looking for a specific answer.
I see.
Like I have been for the past hour. This time I was just like, it's good to just refresh on what we talked about, and
Yeah.
glad something stuck out with you. You said you haven't really done much coding before.
This is the first coding I have ever done.
You're doing pretty well with it, to be honest. So
Well, I appreciate it.
good
Yes.
work.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I turned my YouTube channel into a human social experiment. If you want to make a game and you know nothing about it, what happens? So,
There you go.
yeah.
It's gonna be a really neat experience.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. We'll see.
You said you wanted to mess around with the time a little bit. You feel comfortable at least trying that out and
I
seeing
think
how
so.
it goes.
Yeah, I was about to say I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And worst case, if things go horribly wrong, like that's
Reset.
coding for you, baby.
Yeah. No, I appreciate your
Yeah.
help, dude. That actually like helped out a ton. So,
Yeah, it was a lot of fun going over stuff with you too. So
yeah.
I'll take my leave and let you get back to it.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Have a good one.
Hey, you do the same, man. You take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the Breezin. He's a wonderful, beautiful lad. Really do appreciate your time, Breezin, if you're still in the chat. If not, really do appreciate it. Like, for real. Like, great information. I will sleep and probably forget most of it, but who knows? No, that was actually really informative, so I really appreciate it. Okay, so I do want to change the timing just a little bit because I think it's fine having it shake that much before falling through. I do kind of want to see two things about the timing. One is the respawn time. The other is like how long it shakes before it dissolves. So I think I want to try messing with this and see what happens. So it was 2 originally. To be honest, I'm not sure if that changed anything. Oh, what have I done? There we go. Fixed. Okay. Yeah. I've destroyed everything. Oh no. Let me do this. Go back to how it was. Okay. Yay! Okay. Just because it seems a little too easy, and then I think it respawns a little too quickly, so that is the next thing that I'm kind of wondering. Okay. So, interesting. So let me go back to my notes real quick. Okay. Take too long to dissolve. And then single use platforms. Respawn too quickly. So those are the 2 issues that I'm seeing right now. Everything else is like golden. It actually is working the way it's supposed to. It's just if they respawn like that, see, like you can just kind of cheese the system a little bit. And I don't want to cheese, I want to punish. Yeah. Okay, so we need to figure out a way to make the time. Yeah, I like how like he left. He was like, "Do you think you got it?" I was like, "Yeah, I got it." And then tried it, broke it. And I was like, "Never mind. I don't understand." Okay, so everything seems fine. Except now, if time equals 1. Or, okay, what if we did that? Will it break? Okay, that is faster. I wonder if it's too fast, though. Oh. Okay, I think that's fine. Let me make it a little... Let's actually make it a little faster. Let's see what happens when the 0.4. Troubleshooting. Okay. So if I just jump on this... Oh no! Okay. And yeah, this is area 1, so I'm fine if the platforms are a little, you know, easier to get across. Let's try over here though. Oh, or not. Okay, that's fine. Dare I say let's make it a little faster? Let's see what happens. Maybe it's too fast now. Yeah, it's a little too fast now. Oh. Wrong. Thank you. Let's try this. Okay, that's fine. Hee hee. Okay, so 0.4. So that's fine. So the problem now. So we figured that out. Now we need to figure out how to make them respawn slower. What happens if I do a 2? Because we respawn it at a 0. Okay, that doesn't really seem to do anything. Oh. Interesting. Okay. So that actually kind of hurts the... Okay, so this is like after the time is out and when it respawns, like what it will do next. Okay, so we need... We need to... If time is this... So all of this is the shaking into collapse. What if we change this to a 2.5? Okay. Oh, there's only... Let's see. Okay, hold on a second. So that looks better. I gotta do this real quick. Oh, okay. Now I need to figure out the timing of it. Jump. Okay. Interesting. Okay, hold on one second. Oh, did not mean to do that. Okay. So, jump. Oh. Trying to only get one of them. There we go. Okay. So that actually works. Let's do 5 seconds. No. Let's do 4.5. Let's see where that leads us. Ah! Might actually want it back a little bit more. Let's do 8.5 seconds. Let's see if that's too long. I don't think it's too long. Okay, it is a hair too long. I do want it to be somewhat long. Let's try 6.5. A lot of trial there. Okay. Whoa, that was weird. I think that works. Yeah, I think that actually works really well. We did it! Chat, we did it! I need sound effects. I need to activate my soundboard. Just the... That's insane, actually. Okay, I wasn't actually sure if we would be able to do that today. But we did it! Hooray! I'm going to name this Current Problems. Okay. Let's go into the agenda. Boop. Okay. Dog, we did it. Let's go! We did it! It is now functionable. Oh yeah. I'm gonna play it one more time. Let's try to make it through the whole thing. Ugh. Do I want them to break faster? Maybe. Let's see what 0.3 does. Yeah, actually... Okay. Yeah, I actually do kind of like it that quickly. Okay. Let's go into the 2D. Let's see, it was this part right here. Maybe we need to... I think it's fine. I'm gonna try it one more time. So... Look at that. Now, if only I could jump. I don't know how to do that. I think I see the error in my ways. I need to make this a little longer. So let's do that. Let's go into... My brain literally just shut down. What just happened? Good gracious, tile map. Okay. So let's go tile map. Let's go into you. Let's make you just a hair longer. Let's try that, see what happens. Geronimo! Don't ask. Don't ask, I have no idea why. Okay, so... Okay, that's a little more forgiving, which is fine. For that first little platform. And then for this one... Ah! Okay. There we go. Okay. Back here. Figured that out. And then whoop, whoop. There's going to be like enemies here. Then fight the little mini boss, rather. Dang, son. Chat, we did it. Let's go. And by we, I mean Breezen came in and said, hey, try this. And I was like, oh, okay. And he was a great teacher. I don't know why I sounded like friggin' Kingpin was. Breezen came in. He was a great teacher. A friend, in fact. Okay. So okay. So that was lovely. Hey, do we have area? Ooh, excuse me. 1, 2. Or 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 5, 1, 6. So we need 1, 3, and 1, 4. I think the easiest one for us to do would probably be 1, 3. Let me go into my little notes real quick. Yeah. Okay, let's see. So this is the 1, 3 area. I might change this one quite a bit because it is kind of a little dull. Unless I have just like a billion moving platforms, which honestly could be really funny. And then area 1, 4. We're going to have to figure out how to make a circular movement with the... with everything. Because we know how to go up and down. We know how to go sideways. We just don't really know how to make a circle. So we need to figure that out. Maybe we'll figure that out next time, though. We still have like 15 minutes, chat. So why don't we do something a little interesting? Okay. Also, just wanted to say thank you so much for all the backers and donators. If you guys look in the description, you guys get really cool stuff for being a member. And if you donate some as well, you get some cool stuff. Also, chat, thanks so much for the 13 likes. You guys are great. Okay, so why don't we do some of this homework right here. Let's download the to-do. I've had that, like... That's not it. Go away! I've had it on the... Did I close out of it? Yes, I did. I've had it open for, like, 3 days. Yep, here it is. Okay. So apparently, this is what it's supposed to be. Scared to download things. Okay, so we downloaded this. Let's unzip. Let's put this on the... I have no idea what I'm supposed to do with this. We downloaded it, though. Maybe I'll watch a video of, like, what to do now. Okay, so basic mapping is almost done for Area 1. We really just need, trying to think. Here, you know what? Just for old time's sake, let's go into here. Okay, and then let's try to go down to the little secret area. Boop, boop, boop. And down. We do need to incorporate fall damage and stuff like that. I won't worry about it right now, though. So if we just keep going down. Yep, this is where the little NPC is going to be. We wait for the platform, and we can go back up. Perfect. There we go. Ah! Anyway, cool. Looks fan-diddly-tastic. 1.1 area 1.5 rather is complete, chat. Ooh, let's go. Okay. Show. Oh, gracious. Sorry, I just yawned there like crazy. Okay. So now what we need to do Sorry, I'm like looking at everything that I gotta do. So, I think that's about it for 1.5. I think the next thing that we should do... Obviously, I need to learn the language of GD script videos. I'm starting to pick up on things here and there, which is kind of exciting, not gonna lie. Very exciting. Let's see, start working on some of the lore. Maybe while we have... Oh, I started a little bit later, that's why, okay. So, I do have about 30 minutes. Let me save all of this. I'm going to close out of here. And then, let's start breaking down some lore, chat. Okay. So, I'm gonna do this. So I had originally wanted vessels just because I think it sounds pretty sick, but I don't know if void works either. 1 second. Because the whole purpose of like me calling them vessels was they're empty and they can hold things. Gonna turn that up a little bit. So they're empty. They can hold things. That's why I was thinking vessel, but then I forgot Hollow Knight literally created a whole species called vessel. So why don't we call... Hold on a second. Let's do this. Let's try vessel synonyms. Oh, blinding. What happened? Oh, it's because I'm in... Okay, whatever. So... okay, that's not what we need. Container, receptacle, repository, holder, carrier, basin, bowl, dish, butt. Huh. Hilarious. Let's see. You can name them flasks. I don't know. That's... I don't know. Okay. So... I'm going to say basic lore, and I'm going to say deep lore. Or maybe I'll even do this. Okay, lore deep. And I'll name this lore basic. Okay. You know what what did I just say? I literally went, oh, literally Animal Crossing. Okay. Hold on. Boop. I'm gonna do this in privacy. Yep, there we go. Okay, so we are going to name this lore project. Oh, I did it again. Project Void. Okay, so we need to get some moody music into this. We need some moody music. One second. Where is... Where is it? Yeah. Okay, what song am I looking for? There's one in particular. Oh, okay. Hold on, one second. Love it. Oh no. Chat. It's an ad. Stop it. There we go. With rain? Oh my goodness. I don't know if I... sure. I like it. Okay, so... Fun fact. So about this, about what's playing right now. Singularities. Dream. Sorry, one second. Let me do this. So, okay, yeah. So the song that's playing right now is called Singularity's Dream from Loop Hero. And this kind of music is the kind of music that I want with the game. Like very bit crushed, older kind of chiptune music. So, why? Because chiptune music means a lot to me, and if you do it right, I think that it's some of the best music ever. Okay, so, but here is some of the lore that we need to figure out. And this is going to be interesting because when I come up with lore, it's my favorite thing to do, like just ever. I love creating worlds, you know? It sounds very god complexy of me, but I love creating like just backgrounds of like creations and universes and everything like that. I really like that kind of stuff. That is my favorite thing to do, like, for my pastime. Which sounds very, very lame, but I promise it's pretty dang cool. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to create whatever the heck is going on here. So we know a few things already about the gameplay. I'm going to start drawing things before I start writing things because I'm a very visual kind of learner. So here's where the conflict begins.
At US Bank, we think the best relationship.
What the heck is it? Ads? Ads, I say. Go back to the rain one. Maybe I just needed an ad blocker. Okay, so what we know so far. We have here the antagonist. We have right here the main threat. And then right here I don't know why it's all green. That's fine. And then right here, actually let's do this. Once again, visual learning really helps me out. I don't know why the triangle decided to untriangle. That was crazy. Okay. And right here we have the main protagonist. So right here we have... Sorry, let me do this. So we have... Wait! I just remembered. Chat. You're going to be so proud of me. I found my draw pad. I haven't used it in forever, so I might totally just not be good at it anymore. Okay, yeah, I have a Huion tablet that I used for drawing a lot, but let me see if I still kind of got it. Okay. Oh, I did the wrong thing. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Good heavens. It's a lot more sensitive than I remember it being. That's fine. Oh, this is so much nicer. I'll have to figure out sensitivity and stuff like that. That's fine. Okay. So, right here, we have... Oh, yeah, it does this weird thing. Golly gracious. Okay, maybe I'll have to figure out the pen a little bit more. Like I said, it's been a long time since I used it. But so we have the antagonist. I don't really know what its name is going to be, but I do know that it's like a massive serpent. So for right now, why is it so sensitive right now? I'll figure out the pin later, chat. I was so excited. I was so excited to be like, guys, look, I can do things now. Little did he realize that he indeed could not do things right now. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, tablet. It's nice seeing you for a second. We'll figure it out. Okay, so we have the serpent. Here, 1 second. And right here, we have Tree Lady. Which sounds so stupid when I say that. I actually have her name, but I am not going to reveal that kind of stuff to the public. I know that sounds really weird, but I have some member-only videos I'm going to be doing. So, I'm going to instead name this. I'm just going to name this Immortal. Okay. So here is... Oh, wrong. So we know that they're in a constant conflict. So what we need to do with the lore is figure out how they came into conflict. So let's do it this way. So how did they come into conflict? We need to know what are their goals. And then the biggest thing for me, I don't know if it's like, in my opinion, I feel like this is an author's like worst fault, or like anyone who's telling a story, is they don't consider this next thing that I want to consider. What does the world look like without them? Slash... without player. Which I actually think is like the more important question. Because these two will always be at war. But in order for the world to feel lived in, we have to see, you know, if we as the player are not playing it, or if like our main character didn't come along, what does that world look like? We also need to think about before their conflict started, obviously, like what was the world like without them? But the bigger thing that we need to consider is what happens before our character came along, you know? So, yeah, those are kind of like the bigger things that we need to consider. Is how did they come into conflict? Slash why, I guess. Like, why did they come into conflict? What are their goals? So, you know, what is the antagonist's and what is the protagonist's goals? And then what does the world look like without them before their conflict? And then what does it look like without us in the picture. So, do I have any other questions before continuing on with this point? Some other things that we need to consider probably are... Let's see. Power system. How it works. Okay. So now, the reason why you want to come up with a power system, one thing is because the supernatural does exist in this game. So now we have to think of like a power system. How does it works? How does it work? How does the power system? What are the laws of the power system? I think that fantasy in particular, or just like anything with a supernatural element to it, is very boring when all you say... I heard this once from, I can't remember, like, I just heard a video on it, and somebody said, like, it's really boring whenever you say, like, oh, why did this happen? Oh, because a wizard did it. You know? I think, in my opinion, that is, like, kind of the worst thing that you can do, is just kind of say, oh, here's this because we need the plot to happen. Oh, you know? So there needs to be a set established rule in power system. It needs to be rigid. It needs to have limitations. If you guys know Brandon Sanderson, one of his laws is that powers are more exciting whenever you delve deeper into what they can't do rather than what they can do. And I 100% agree with that. So we need to come up with a power system, how it works. I'm going to say it's effects. So how does it affect the world? How does it, how does the world shaped by it? So you have these two forces, the immortal and the serpent. We need to figure out how they came into conflict, why they came into conflict. We need to think of what are their goals. Like, ultimately, why did this guy come? Because, so the story is that he came down, tore up the main kingdom of this planet, whatever the planet's name is. We'll figure that out. And it is now hovering in the sky. So why does he want to do that? Or is that just a byproduct for what he wants? Or whatever it wants, Same thing with the immortal. Why does she want to end the serpent? Is there selfishness behind it? Or is it like she's just trying to do the good deeds? I think it's more interesting if we find something good, but also something corrupted about it. So I think that's what kind of makes a very interesting characters. It's like, if you have someone that is good and just good, it becomes a little flat. So you want them to have flaws. You want there to be a reason why you might choose to question whether or not you should be rooting for them. Even if they are the good guys, Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just my opinion, but I think it's more interesting like that. So, we need to think about the goals. What happens to the world? What happens in this world without this conflict? What does it look like? And then, what happens when we're not in the world? Obviously, you want the world to work without us in it. Then we have to come up with a power system, how it works, and its effects on the natural order of everything. So, we need to come up with a few dynamics. We can come up with a dynamic of, let's see. And this is me just like, once again, spitballing, just thinking of things. Good. I can't really see that well. Sorry, chat. Good versus evil. That is a dynamic that we can have. I think it's kind of a little boring, but honestly, sometimes simplicity can be added upon, and so we can make it interesting. So we can do a good versus evil. I think even worse, you could do a destiny kind of thing, where like, oh, maybe it's like foretold that these two would fight or something like that. I think that's kind of... Or you can do something that I think is interesting, but you would have to do it correctly, is differing ideologies. I spelled that horribly wrong. Thank you. Okay, so differing ideologies. You can see both points from both sides. And I think that's what makes villains kind of terrifying, is if you make them kind of really... I mean, every now and then having a villain that's just kind of like mustache twirling, just, yeah, evil, oh, you know, I think that's fun sometimes. But I think it's more intriguing when you can tell, like, yeah, that is the bad guy, that is, like, not a good thing to do, they're doing terrible things, but why am I, like, kind of also a little rooting for him or feel bad kind of thing? I don't know, I think the feel bad thing... You don't want them to be innocent, but I don't know. You want to be torn up because they're evil, because you know that they're in the wrong, you know? I think that's kind of the interesting thing. So, let's try this. I think maybe what we could do is say serpent and immortal have differing ideologies about, and then here's where we have to kind of be a little placeholder, blank. So we need to figure out what their differing ideologies are. Ooh, here's an idea. I don't know if we'll keep it, but what if law of magic in this world is that you have to be given it. So maybe we can say, like, sorry, this is also where things get a little interesting because I have to, like, stop and think for a little bit. So we can say part of it is, let's see, the law of magic in this world is that you have to be given it. So, like, maybe... Ooh, here's an idea. Here's an idea. I'm going to draw this one out before I write it down, though. Let's do this. I'm going to new... Let's do this. Okay. So we have... Maybe we have, like, different deities or something like that. Deities. No idea. Let's say that maybe there is... Let's just do 5. 5 is like a good number to start. If we need to add some, take some away, that's fine. But let's say you have 5 deities. Okay. So I have the 5 deities. I don't know why 5 in particular. Sometimes my brain just works better if, like, the god system is a pantheon. I like the idea of the rule of this world is that you have to be given magic in order for you to have it, you know? So it's not like something that's just like innate within you. It is like you have to be given it. And maybe where that originates is... You know what, actually? Weird as this sounds, I'm going to do this. No, stop. Wrong. Let's have 3. Let's have 3 deities. Let's see what that does. Basically, 2 of the deities... Okay, hold on. Let's not get zealous here. Oh! There we go. So 2 of the deities are giving their powers to mankind. Why 2, though? Maybe there should only be 2. Something like that. Okay. Let's not overcomplicate things. Let's do this. For now. If I need to overcomplicate it later, that's fine. In fact, I would prefer that. But for now, let's say there's 2. There's just 2 forces when it comes to the deities. You have one of the deities giving away their powers and everything to the masses, you know? They all want some power. And to this deity, like, you know, giving away power and everything like that is just like, you know, that's what a loving deity would do, and that's what brings them into favor. And then kind of teaches the way of, like, in order to create power, you have to share it. However, let's say this other deity, who is the serpent, actually. Okay, that's weird. Sure. Serpent. Is like, nah, dude. That is not what we do. We should be selfish and keep the powers amongst ourselves. Maybe that's his whole point of view. Is giving away power makes those who are not deities become more like them. And maybe he feels like deities should be born, you know, and like all these things is just like it's unnatural, it's unholy, or something kind of like that. And so the serpent kind of sees giving away his power as a weakness or something like that. So here comes the question then. Is this deity the immortal tree lady before... I don't know, because then that wouldn't make too much sense. Okay, well, it would make sense if there was 3 of them. So here is the immortal. Okay, so the immortal... But then that wouldn't make sense because the serpent gives his powers to his disciples. Okay, so that would not work. This is the other very quote-unquote fun part of lore building, is things need to make sense, you know? Despite what some other storytellers in Hollywood or whatever tell you, to me it's important that the story makes sense, you know? So, okay, what are the things that we do know? I'm going to put this on ice right now. Let's try this. Let's say... what do we know? We know that Immortal and Serpent give the gift of power. So, yeah, the Immortal... Okay, hold on. Well, let's actually go even a step back. So the Immortal can give her... Hold on one second. Let me look at the notes. This is where I need to just connect everything together. It just needs to connect. Harness outer magics granting the title of Void. Okay, so a soul gets in the way of mankind being able to harness magic. Magic. Interesting. Okay. So we're saying Immortal can grant magic in exchange for souls. Soul. It sounds a lot like Dark Souls now. Okay, so in order for a person to wield I'm going to write this down. In order for a man to wield magic and become as a god, he must first give up his soul. I'm not saying become a god. You silly little... Okay. So that's kind of like the first law of everything. So magic is a unnatural thing for man to have. And the other kind of thing is magic... I'm going to delete all of this just because I'm not sure where we're going with it quite yet. Magic is classified as anomaly. So this is where I'm kind of going with this, because in this, the power system is the 7 deadly sins, like literally being weaponized, because you have no soul. Therefore, you gain supernatural ability, because all of a sudden, the follies of man do not harm you anymore. I'm gonna do this real quick. Oh. There we go. Gotta change this. Voids have not the human soul to lose, thus the follies of man are theirs to wield in the never-ending conflict. It's kind of the idea of that is, if you have no soul, then your soul cannot be tarnished by the follies of man. Therefore, when the follies of man enter where your soul is supposed to be, they become more of an anomaly. So let me write that down real quick. So I guess this law doesn't really make too much sense, at least the first part. So he must first give up his soul. Let's say the first part of it is... in order to achieve what man perceives as magic. He must achieve anomaly. Such anomaly let's see. An example. Huh? Okay. Terrible. An example of such anomaly can be found when sin has no soul to tarnish. So basically what this is saying is whenever a sin enters, you know, I mean, obviously this isn't how sin actually works, but in this, it's just easier to explain it that way. So basically when a sin enters a human to infect their soul, if they have no soul, then what do they affect? All of a sudden, its power literally becomes physical manifest. So the soulless can then wield sin as a weapon for such was created. I don't know why I wrote such twice. What? Let's see. The soulless can wield sin as a weapon for thus does not make sense. I like speaking old-timey when it comes to this kind of stuff, so. The soulless can wield sin as a weapon. For sin was created to thusly cleave the soul of man. I mean, thusly is a word Google Docs, but okay. Hey, what's up, Captain Gamerica? How you doing? Welcome on into the stream, my friend. How is life treating you? Thank you so much for dropping in, drop a like, sharing the love, giving me your life savings. Just kidding, don't do that unless you said yes. How are you doing, though? Welcome on into the stream. Right now, we are in the middle of trying to figure out some things when it comes to the lore of the game, and I think we kind of figured out at least a little bit right now. Sorry, brain was not braining. Okay. So, in order to achieve what man perceives as magic, he must achieve anomaly. An example of such anomaly can be found when sin has no soul to tarnish. The soulless can then wield sin as a weapon, for sin was created to thus cleave this. I guess thus does make more sense. The soulless can wield sin as a weapon, for sin was created to thus cleave the soul of man. Doing good? I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that you are doing great. Also, I was just going to let you know, Captain, that if you look into the description Be brava, gentle sir. Quaint. If you look inside the description, you can see we have some things. If you are a member of the Platinum tier, which you are. Yeah. So we have some stuff right there, just as we're working on all that stuff. If anyone like donates, yada yada yada. But members of the Platinum tier will get the game that I am creating for free once it's time to get that out. You also get a free digital art book, a free digital lore book, and a personal letter from yours truly once all of that is all set in stone. It's going to take a little while, but since you are a Platinum tier member at this point, you do get that. So just FYI. Just wanted to let you know there's some cool stuff in store for you. So, I guess we can say thou art incredulous. Very nice. Let's see, what time is it? Oh gosh, I actually need to get going pretty soon. Okay, in order to achieve what man perceives as magic, he must first achieve anomaly. An example of such anomaly can be found when sin has no soul to tarnish. The soulless can wield sin as a weapon, for sin was thus created to cleave the soul of man. I like this better, actually. To this. Hew down. Destroy. Man, I know that's not how you spell destroy. Okay. In order to achieve what man perceives as magic, he must first achieve anomaly. And such. Oh, an example of such. I'm so good at this. Okay. An example of such anomaly can be found when sin has no soul to tarnish. The soulless can then wield sin as a weapon, for sin was created to thus destroy man. So, the living. We'll do that. So, okay, so that's kind of like the first rule of magic in this, is basically you need to create something that shouldn't really be. So the concept of sin and everything doesn't really work if you suddenly don't have a soul for it to hew down. So that's why all of a sudden you can wield sin as magic. So it doesn't really explain the conflicts or anything like that, but it does explain kind of like this. Shall be streaming at 11:30. I work until 10 because I close. Hopefully that goes well for you. Alrighty. I know that this is very, very sudden, but I do probably need to get going, chat. I'm actually going to... Whew, that was a sensory overload also. Alrighty. But chat, I will be going because I do need to get bouncing. But chat, thank you so much for the very fun day. Once again, huge shout out to Breezen for helping with figuring out the entirety of my problem. Really do appreciate you. I just wanted to say thank you once again to everyone who is here, who is a member, who's making this stuff financially possible for me to, you know, keep making, you know, the game and just making content for you guys. Without members, without people that are donating, it would be completely impossible for me to do it. So I really do appreciate y'all very, very much. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. I am going to be streaming again tomorrow. I think we're going to be working on area 1.3 or 1.3. And yeah, we'll figure out where life takes us from there. Thank you so very much, Captain, for being here. You are awesome. You're incredible. Remember that you're loved, you're important, you're fantastic. You're always welcome back here on the GScotty channel. And that's for everyone. Remember that you are loved. You are important. And even though hard times may befall you, that does not mean that you know, are lesser of a person. Just keep it up. Keep your head high. I believe in you. And if nobody else does, I believe in you. So, yeah, just remember that. So, thank you guys so very much for your time. Really do appreciate you guys. And I will see you again tomorrow for more streaming, more game coding and creating. Till then, you guys, love, peace, and chicken grease. Bye-bye. Love, peace, and chicken grease. We'll see you. We'll see you later, Captain. Hopefully, we'll see everyone later. Bye.